Good afternoon, everybody. It is Saturday, August the 14th, 2021. And it's about 3:05 p.m. here in Virginia. So it's been a while since I threw up a video. I figured since I was driving and everything's going pretty good, I'd give you guys an update. So let's see where we left off last time. I believe we were on our way to our home time in Florida. We had a great time. We got into Florida. Let me see. Sunday. No, we were in Florida, in Ocala, Sunday night, where we slept there, because we had a place to stay with restrooms right there. We didn't have to worry about trying to find a place in Orlando. It's very hard. And then Saturday morning, I woke up, got us a move into Orlando, where we went to Trucker's Paradise is what it came up as, but it's really the Acme truck stop where we stayed before. And it's pretty good. We were originally going to stay at the Loves in Davenport, but it's like 25 miles away from the parks and stuff, because if we would have came in Sunday night, we wouldn't have been able to park at Acme, because it's pretty small, and it's one of the only truck stops in Orlando. So everybody's competing for those spots. It made it pretty easy for us because we were bobtail, so we didn't have to try to park a trailer. But we still got there. The bobtail area was full. We just kind of hung out for a minute. A truck pulled out, and we pulled into that space, and the security guy told us, nope, you can't park there. It's only for a full truck and trailer. I told him, I said, we're going to be here for 4 days. I'm paying for the spot regardless if it's a truck and a trailer or a bobtail. What's the difference? He's like, all right, go ahead. So we went up and we paid for the spot. To park there for 4 days was like $51 and some change, which is cheaper than had we parked at Love's for free but took an Uber back and forth. But it was pretty expensive. So we actually made out pretty good by parking there. We were about ready to get unloaded and head up to the front for our Uber, and the guy said, hey, there's a spot that opened up in the bobtail area. Can I have you guys move? So we crawled over to the bobtail area, so we wouldn't set off our drive. It's called idle move. And we moved over into the bobtail area, which was good because that way they could actually have a full spot for somebody else, and I'm down for that. So then we got in there, and we ate at the Puerto Rican. They have a Puerto Rican restaurant called I want to say Dashers or I don't know. Anyhow, there's a Puerto Rican restaurant which we ate there before. It's pretty good. We ate, and then we called our Uber because we couldn't check into the hotel till 4. And so, we kind of were able to just kind of chill and hang out. Everything worked out really well. We got to our hotel about 3 o'clock. I expected us to have to wait because a lot of people were waiting for check-in. But I don't know. We got up there, and the guy's like, is there a floor preference? And I said, hey, just whatever's available. So he's like, okay, well, we had you booked in a room, but it's not ready, but I have another room open that's, 2 queens, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, that works. So we actually got moved into a room right away. So again, it worked out perfect. We got into our room. Really nice. Really, really nice. We stayed at the Lowe's Polynesian Resort or something like that. It's the Hawaiian themed resort, and literally it is like 5 to 7 minute walk from the lobby of the hotel to Universal City Walk, which is where all the restaurants and all the stuff right at the gates of Universal Studios. And so it was really cool because at the same time, Derek and his wife Christy were also in Orlando because they saw my posts on Facebook. He reached out and we were able to have dinner with them, which was really awesome because I haven't seen them in quite a while. So it was really nice to be able to connect with them and see how they're going. And so it was cool the way it worked out. We got to have dinner. Italian place was really good, and then we went back to the hotel and had a couple drinks, and then they Ubered back to their hotel. So it was really nice to be able to see them. And then we got the next couple days, and we went to Orlando or to Universal Studios for the 2 days. We found out that Dramamine is good. Okay, I was able to do the rides without feeling nauseous and getting, because last time we went, it was like those 3D, 4D rides really mess with my head, which is crazy because I'm a gamer, right? But for some reason, it's just the movement along with the screen, it really made me nauseous. And it wasn't like, okay, I'm done and I'm not nauseous. No, I was nauseous most of the day. So the Dramamine really helped out, where I did get a little nauseous for just a moment, but once the ride stopped, then I was good. Not nauseous, but dizzy, I guess. But the downside is Dramamine makes you sleepy. Even though the formula I got was the less drowsy, we followed the instructions on the package. It said take one of the pills half hour to an hour before your flight or your activity, and then take another one like an hour after. So well, we did that, but let me tell you something. We was so sleepy that afternoon that we actually went back to the hotel, and we're like, all right, we're just going to take a couple hour nap and then go back in the evening because it was really super hot. They were having a heat wave in Orlando, along with the high humidity, like 80% humidity. So it was suffocating hot. But so I'm sure on top of the heat, kind of that wears you down, and then those pills, we was tired. Well, we ended up going back to the hotel and taking a nap. It ended up being 4 hours. Well, by the time we woke up, the park was closed. The park closed at 9. We woke up at 10. So then that's okay. We got up and we went to City Walk, which is open until midnight, and we had dinner at the Hard Rock. It was really nice. And so, just nice and easy. The next day we got up, went back to Universal Studios. We actually spent more time on the Universal Studio side compared to the day before. We spent most of our time on the Islands of Adventure. But it was pretty good. Again, we kind of hung out there most of the day, and then we had dinner at Antonijo's or some, I don't know, some Mexican place. It was okay. It wasn't excellent. The drinks were good because we both got I got a margarita. It was a blackberry margarita. Alex got, I don't remember what his was. It was pretty good. The drinks were good. The appetizer was really good. We got a table guac, but then the entrees, we ordered fajitas for 2. Sucked ass. It was a big bomb. Really terrible. So everything up until the appetizer was pretty good until that. But I have to say that all the places that we went to, Vivo's Italian Kitchen, we actually went there 2 nights. We went there the night with Derek and Christy, and then we went there the night, Thursday night after we were done at Disney. Really good, really good. Both times was excellent. If you get there, I would recommend as a dining location. It's a little pricey, but anything you get on that City Walk is pricey. Okay, you have to expect that. You're at the Universal Studios. Even inside is going to be pricey. So we already knew that. We expected that. But for the convenience, it was really nice, because had we gone somewhere else, we would have had to pay for an Uber to get out. And so by the time you pay for the Uber out and back, it really makes up for it. We did rent the little scooters, so we were walking, we were like zooming around on the little scooters, so that was kind of fun. And which was really good, because my knee's been really jacked up recently. I'll get to walking and all of a sudden it just wants to fold on me. So I got me a new cane, a little cane I'm using my walk just to catch myself when I come up to that, when my knee decides it wants to buckle. But anyways, so yeah, it was fun. And then we went to Disney on Thursday, and that was okay. I mean, so I will tell you that it was totally worth it to see Alex like light up and to see him so overjoyed, because for those of you who know Alex is a huge Star Wars fan. And so we got to go to Star Wars Land, because we went to Disney Hollywood Studios. And when I bought the tickets, I bought the
after a quarter of a mile, keep right.
I got the Hopper
Interstate 295 North, Washington, Richmond,
the Hopper Pass. So that after 2 o'clock, we had the option to go to another park. So we were gonna like go to
now keep right.
Like Epcot after 2 o'clock. Give me just a second while I navigate this turn
Follow
here.
the highway.
Anyhow, so we got there. It was super warm and so humid. We didn't have a way to get our scooters there, but we could have, had I known in advance. I could have called the company that we got them from, and they would have transported it for us. But you have to set that up in advance. So we ended up renting scooters while we were there, and they were super slow compared to what we were riding before. These scooters, people were walking faster than we were driving, which whatever. And it's just, the crazy thing is, the Star Wars Land is where everybody was at. Everybody, because when we went out of the Star Wars area in the Hollywood, it was very minimal amount of people. There was a couple rides or a couple things that were super busy, like the Mickey Mouse something train thing right as you come in the front. They had a really, really long line there. But everything else was pretty open until you got to Star Wars Land, where that's where the majority of everybody was at. Really, they could probably open up a Star Wars park and wouldn't need it attached to the rest of the Hollywood stuff. But it was amazing. It really made you feel like you were on like Balmora or something. Just the mountains and the trees and just the looks. It kind of looked like it was a mix between Balmora and maybe Tatooine or something. I don't know. It was pretty awesome though. But that Alex's eyes lit up, and so as you're going in, they have like it's like above everybody, like they have like like you're looking over a balcony type thing. Where the first character that we saw was Rey. Is that her name? And Alex like, it's Rey, I love you. And why he turned around so I could take a picture of him, Chewbacca walked up. I'm like, there's Chewbacca. And then he turned around, then he really freaked out. So excited to be able to see everything. It made him tear up and cry. He was so excited about it. A couple things that we didn't get to do because we didn't make reservations or didn't get there in time was the big ride we didn't get to do. You can only do it at virtual ride, and they only open up the spot at 7 a.m. and at 1 p.m. 7 a.m. So when we got there, we didn't know about that. And then at 1, literally, he got in at like 1:02 or 1:03, and it was full. And we went up to the thing, and the guy's like, we're booked for the day. The other thing also that I really wanted to do is I wanted to be able to have him build his own lightsaber. The lightsaber that you build, you can actually buy the crystals and change the color of the blade. But again, that is a reservation experience, and when I went and looked at it, the next available reservation they had was on Monday. Of course, we weren't there. So we went to the store where they actually sell the lightsabers, but not the one that you build. So it's a different one. This one is just, they had 5 of them. They had Leia's, they had the rebuilt Skywalker saber, they had Darth Vader, they had Ben before he became Kylo Ren, and then Kylo Ren. They had 2 that they were out of that they didn't have right now, but you can buy them online. Alex has already looked online. They have a couple double-sided sabers that he really wants. Very expensive hobby. I think we're going to have, when we get our house, we're going to have a Star Wars room. I already know. Because these lightsabers, the hilt alone is $140, and then the blade, it's like it plugs into the hilt, is $50. And so we ended up getting the rebuilt Skywalker hilt and the Darth Vader hilt. So, and then of course the blades for each. So it was $400 for 2 lightsabers. But you know what? He works really hard. It's something that he loves. So we went ahead and got both of those. And then our plan is to get them up on a wall mount or something when we do get a place to start this saber collection. It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Maybe I sent some pictures to my family. I'll put them up in the on the page later on, so you can take a look at them. Anyhow, so it was a lot of fun. Food choice wise, we just ate at one place because I was able to do the order online because everybody was there. Everything was full. This, you put in your mobile order, and then it alerts you when it's ready. You go up and you pick up your food, and it was like a pita with like a couple pieces of sliced chicken, and then some kind of sausage with sauerkraut. And I forget what they called it, but it was okay. I mean, it wasn't like phenomenal, but it was okay. It was like $13 for this. And then we got a couple drinks. We couldn't get a place to sit, but we did find a stand-up bar, and so we were able to pull the scooter up and then sit in the scooter while we were eating at the bar. So it was okay. It did rain on us a little bit, but not very much. The rain was nice though because it did cool it down. But it was just so hot and humid. The other thing too is, what you do is you rent the scooter. You pay a $20 deposit, and then it's $50 for the scooter. But if you want to go to that other park, so we're planning on going to Epcot, you have to turn in your scooter, get your deposit back, go to the other park, repay your deposit, and if they have scooters available, then you can get the scooter. But they can't guarantee that you have that. Well, with my knee all jacked up, I was not about to be walking all over the place, and so we just opted to stay. We ended up doing the Millennium Falcon ride, which again, you go into the Millennium Falcon. It was pretty cool. Alex has lots of pictures. Again, he was all crying, oh my god, I love this. We actually got to be the pilots, him and I, where I was the pilot on the right, so I controlled the up and the down. He controlled the left and the right, and then you have to go through this mission and everything. It was fun. He was yelling and screaming. It was great. It was a good time. And then we went on a ride that's been there since I went to Disney World with my family as a kid. It is the Star Tours, and it's kind of like you're sitting in it's like several seats, and it's a 3D. Yeah, it's a 3D ride where it's more you're just sitting. It's not interactive, and so we did that. But the thing is that he got to see Kylo Ren and some stormtroopers, take photos because they're up like on a stage thing. He got to take photos of the buildings. Got to take photos of the ships that were there. It was a lot of fun. If it wasn't so hot, it would have been perfect. But anyhow, we ended up leaving. After all that, we decided that we were done. The only reason that we went to Disney was for Star Wars Land. We went, we did our thing, and then we went back to the hotel, took a shower. Every day we took a shower in the morning, put on lots of powder and deodorant. The powder really helped out a lot to keep us from getting like so soaking wet, even though I did get wet quite a bit. I'm a big sweater anyhow. And then when we come back to the hotel, showered immediately again, and then we would go back out and come back and shower again. So but it was good. It was a lot of fun. In the evening, going out to the city walk was nice. We did go Thursday night, so after we went to Disney, we went back to the hotel, took a shower, and then there's a theater at City Walk. We decided, hey, let's go see The Green Knight, because we saw the previews and it looked pretty interesting. Don't waste your money. I mean, I slept. It was really hard not to sleep. First of all, I was already exhausted from the heat for the day, but it was slow in the beginning. This is what Alex said. It was slow in the beginning, but then dead the rest of the movie. You're constantly waiting for something to happen, and nothing happens. It's very slow. The end is, there's no climax. There's no big thing at the end. It's just, we were really disappointed. So don't waste your money. It was just nice going and spending time with him, and going and doing that. Again, we after the movie, then we had reservations for Vivo, the Italian place that I had told you. We went back there. Excellent dinner. We had no drinks because we had to leave the next morning. So because the next day we had to work, we didn't drink. But other than that, we drank every other night. And his blood sugar sure showed for it. But overall, we had a really nice time. It was a lot of fun. And then we got out and got back to the truck. And we already, Thursday they had sent us 2 loads. We were picking up in Ellenwood, Georgia, which is a suburb of Atlanta, going to Portland. And then we were going from Portland to the Chicago area. Well, we started headed out to get to Atlanta, and the client, the shipper, canceled the load. So we ended up stopping in Ocala, at the terminal in Ocala, which I'm glad they canceled it when they did, because we were able to go right to the terminal. We went in and did our laundry from our vacation. We got all our clothes done. Got something to eat for lunch, and then Alex went back to sleep because since I started out driving during the day, he was going to need to be able to drive overnight with our whatever load we've got. Everything worked out good again, because after we were done eating and laundry was done, Alex went back, went back to the truck to sleep. I sat to watch TV. We ended up getting the load that we're on now. So this load we picked up in South Carolina, and we're running this up to New York State. It's not New York City. It's New York, close to the lakes, so the west side of New York. And then we're running up to Connecticut and picking up another load, which will bring us down to Dallas. So 2 states that we haven't been to trucking yet, neither one of us. So that's kind of cool. We get to go up there. And then get us back down to Dallas where we'll be able to get some team freight again. So yeah, so that's kind of everything in a nutshell that happened last week. I did yesterday end up getting an email about the position. I was not selected as the candidate of choice. I was kind of disappointed in the way that they handled the process. I don't know. I guess I was used to the way that it was done with Progressive, which was in a way that they give you a turn down interview too, to let you know, hey, you weren't the choice, but here's some things to work on to be ready for the next time. I was told that I would know something by that Friday. It actually took them 2 weeks to even send me a turn down letter with no other feedback, and it wasn't even from the interviewing manager. It was actually from the recruiting department. Very informed, very generic email that just said, hey, you weren't the candidate of choice, but continue to look for other opportunities and apply. So I don't know. I was a little disappointed because I would like to know what I need to do to prepare me for this position. The reason maybe I wasn't chosen, I have a pretty good reason why. I mean, the position is, most of the people that get the position have been with the company and been in the industry. One of the requirements for the job was 2 years in the industry experience, and I only have like 10, 11 months driving. So, if you have somebody that has the experience, I mean, I'm not mad about that, right? I knew going into it that I didn't completely meet the requirements, but seeing my experience and leadership, I figured that, I had a good chance. That's why I tried. I was not upset that I didn't get it, because if they had somebody that was more qualified, knew the systems better, to be able to slide into that position a little bit easier, that'd be okay. But it'd be nice to know that that was the reasoning, and not because I need to work on something, or maybe you didn't think I was a good fit because of something. That feedback helps you grow and reach for that position again in the future, and it was very impersonal. So, I kind of was a little salty that first day. In fact, I started looking at other companies. We started actually looking at other companies to team. There's a company called Quest that pays really well compared to what we get here, and they promise like home time, they promise paid home time, they promise paid layover time, they promise breakdown time, all this stuff. I still want to look into them, but again, I don't think that Alex would qualify because he's almost at 2 years. They want 2 years experience. I'm at a year now. At least by the end of the month, I'll be at a year experience. So we'll see what happens. But my thing is, it doesn't hurt to try, because the worst they can do is say no, right? So we still may look at that, just because now we've refocused some things. Okay, the great thing is I did the interview, I didn't get the job, but I'm still employed and I'm still able to make money. That's great. But if now I'm going to be on a money thing, there's jobs that pay more. So don't get me wrong, Swift is a great company. For the most part, they really take care of their people, but it's a starter company, right? So it's for people, you're new, you're not going to get the same wage. Also, they're just a mega carrier, and that's just, the way that stuff works is, they don't pay the best. So we may take a look, talk to a couple other companies. The nice thing about Swift is if you leave in good standing, you can come back. So, if something doesn't work out or something doesn't jive, we have the option to come back. They are not short of, or they are not, do not have a surplus of drivers. I mean, I'm sure everybody's heard that, there's a shortage of truck drivers. Now, I won't get my tanker or my hazmat endorsements because I'm not interested in doing those, taking those type of jobs. So I'm not going to worry about getting those. Doubles and triples, If we got those, our endorsement for that, we could work for an LTL company. But again, we want to, if we're working, we want to stay teams. So I don't know. We'll take a look. There's other opportunities, and the thing is, there's other opportunities within Swift, but I would have had to have taken a huge pay cut to get into this position. But I feel like getting into this position as a driver leader, I would not be there long, and I would have an opportunity to move up pretty quick. So that's why I was like, I would take that drop in pay to get me into that position to move forward. Because the other positions that I see that I would be interested in require that you were a driver leader prior to those. So that's kind of the starting off point in leadership that I need to be into. So I don't know. We'll see. But so what I've decided, we're going to go ahead and pay off the car. It's less than $3,000 left on the car. So, and that's $400 a month payment. We have the cash. We can pay off the car now and apply that payment to getting the van paid for, and then also pay off the rest of my student loans. It's about $8,000. We can do that. We have the cash for that. So it'll take care of those two things. But when we're done, we will have only the van that we're still paying on. And we can take what we were paying on the student loan, which is $150 a month, and the car, which is $400 a month, and throw it on the van every month to help pay it down quicker. And still allow us to, build our bank back up. We're probably going to look at getting an RV before we even get the truck. Let's see. Because there's you can hire somebody to move the RV for you. So that way we'll have a place when we come into town to stay where we're not staying in the hotel. It'd be nice to have our own place to stay. We can throw up the solar panels that we have and the generator that comes with the solar panel. And sorry, these people don't know how to freaking drive. They think they need to slow down to merge onto the highway. It irritates me. Anyhow, and let's see. Yeah, so it'll give us a chance to start stuffing that money back in the bank to keep on track for buying a house in a couple of years. That's why the one thing I was talking about doing is looking at moving to a company that pays more to help us reach that goal quicker. And then once I reach that goal, then we can do something else. The driving's okay, and it's really, really, really good money. It's not something that I'm going to want to do till retirement. I want to get back into an office leadership position. Now that I've stepped away from it for a year, I find out that really that's where my passion was, and I really enjoy working with teams, building teams, and going through that. So we'll do this to reach our goal, and then I will look at after getting experience in the industry, look at getting into leadership position, or who knows, I may go back to insurance. It just depends on what's available. Insurance pays really well too. So anyhow, there's some options, some things that we've been thinking about. It's what we did last week. Yeah. So in a nutshell, I think that's kind of where we sit. But anyways, well, I'm gonna jump off here. I hope you guys had a great week. Had a great rest of your weekend, and be safe. I love y'all.